Mrs. Holton here. I'm just going to get you started on the basics of GarageBand, which will be on your iPad when you're at school. So you look for this right here on your screen, and it is the GarageBand app, and you open it up, and it should give you a few of these options here. There's lots of different instruments that you can choose. My suggestion would be to start with some smart drums, okay? And then you can add your own voice if you choose to do so, okay, if you have words for it. Get a feel for it first. There's smart strings. It'll have chords for you, so that's nice. Anything with the smart next to it will help you create better music, okay? Smart bass, okay? The bass part is the lower part, as we've talked about, and it provides kind of a neat little bottom part for the song, okay? Let's go back here. Smart keyboard, it's the same thing. You have some chords available to you, and then another one here is the smart guitar, and here is the drummer, okay? It's kind of like the smart drums, I believe, and then there's a keyboard, then drums, and each of these, when they don't have smart in front of them, you kind of have to do it all yourself. And then there's an amp too that you can plug in things with. And then we're back to the audio recorder. Now the sampler kind of gives you just samples of what things that you can do. Okay, so first of all, you need 2 or more tracks for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my song for you that I created. And up in the corner, there was a button that says My Songs, and there's the one that I saved right there. Now, in order to create a new song too, you have to push the little plus button up in the top. But I'm going to select My Song, and you can see that My Song has 3 tracks. Okay, and I'll play it for you in class, but along the side here shows what my tracks are. I have a piano, an upright bass, and then I did some drums. And I used the smart versions of all of those as well. Now I have the option of adding more tracks. And I can change the view of this too by touching up here. Oops, wrong one. Sometimes my finger doesn't. See there? That goes back to my smart guitar, which I had not finished my 4th track yet. Okay? So, in order to do this, there's different chords that you can do. And now, you can also change the type of guitar that you want, acoustic, classic, hard rock, and then roots rock, and I'm not sure if that's it. Okay, we'll go to acoustic quick. See what that does. Okay, and they have different things here, like you can change from notes to chords. But I like the chords option. And then they have an autoplay option, which is really, really cool. I turned it on to the second one. Okay. You can change the chords. The key here, though, is when you change chords, make sure you write down which chords you use because it'll help you select, for instance, if you go back and decide that you want to do bass with this, if you choose the same chords with bass as you did with the guitar, it'll sound the best. Okay? Okay. And then there's different ones. Here's another one. This is what's going to help you make the song your own. Okay, is these autoplay ones. Here's the one we just had, and here's the third one. Okay, and then you can change each of these, like here's our classic clean. Again. Okay, there's autoplay. I'm changing the option for autoplay. Here's the third autoplay, and that is right there. There's lots of different options for autoplay. And like I said before, you can do it with piano too, smart keyboard. There are different versions of a piano. There's lots of different versions. Okay, so you can click on the grand piano to see all the different types of piano. Let's go to the classic rock organ. Okay, and then I'm going to put an autoplay on. Here's our autoplay for this one. A little funky. And don't feel like you have to use the same autoplay for the whole song. Okay, you can switch it up in the middle. I encourage something called an ABA form. We talked about that as well. So that gives you kind of a basic introduction. Let's to the string and to the piano. Now let's go to my drums. This is kind of a little bit different, so I thought I'd show you this. You can do the classic drum machine, or you can do lots of different options. I did the classic drum machine just because it's easy. Now, there are different things here. It says simple, loud, complex, or quiet. So, I always like to have the kick of the bass drum be loud. I don't know if you can hear it. Let me turn it up. Okay, and then we get the snare in here. Okay, put one more in here, put the hi-hat down here. And just like that, I have a rhythm. Okay, now there's lots of different ways to do this. Okay, I'm going to go back and do a live rock kit. Okay, it's got a few different options. Okay, sounds a little different. Okay, so it's kind of the same. Now you can create your own too. It's not like you have to, and there's a little dice down here. If you just want a simple rhythm, you can just roll it and it'll give you a new one. So I can do the kick and I can do it here. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, that's the rhythm there. Down a box, a little bit quieter, different rhythm. Okay, so each box, each area here has a different rhythm, and up and down is quiet and loud. Does that make sense? These are simple rhythms over here, and these over here are more complex rhythm, if that makes sense. Okay, you can play with that a lot too. So, in order to save all of the work that you've done, go, well, there you can, that button next to there is where you can view all your tracks. So, since I added these two tracks, it has asked me if I want to delete them or not. And I can just leave them or I can delete them. Now, I go to my songs and it says saving, and there is my song. Okay? And in the initial screen, I'll select this. Okay, and then I'll go back to this. My initial screen will have a spot here for my songs. Okay, there it is. All right. So we'll work more on this in class, and I'll be there to help you individually. So it's not going to be too difficult, but it's going to be a learning experience. So I want you to have fun, but stay on track. Okay, thanks.